Hello there, this is Amadeus, and recording this at a request. Some people wanted to see how I set up and how I kind of set things up here. And as you can see, the basic hotbars I got down here at the bottom, I keep 3 sets up here usually. And I got another one that I bind to the shift button. So when I hold shift, I can use this stuff they use fairly often, like War Speech or Tale of Heroism, which use quite a bit, especially while soloing, and especially now with ROI. I end up using this tail a lot because it seems like everybody runs short on power. But I find that kind of handy, and if you're doing something like slapping hobbits, you can just open up a bag and it'll stay there all the time, so you don't have to hold the shift button. And as far as my bags go, I bind it to one button here. You can have open all your bags at once. And then I have this bag, which has all my potions and food that I keep on a separate button. And then various things like kinship and the friend panel, who's online. But it can move around some of these traits. Right now, I'm in a pretty good healing setup. I just kept the same thing from a skirmish raid I did earlier. And I usually run with the, a lot of times I run with a full 5 blue with the capstone, but I've been changing a little, doing a 4 blue and 3 yellow. Which is this, with the new armor set, with the 10% healing cost reduction, that will pretty much mean you never run out of power. Also for healing, I've been using Cry of the Wizards quite a bit, even though I use it for offense and defense. The minus attack duration, or the plus attack duration, actually helps quite a bit. Plus, if you hit it early while they're running at you and they slow them as they get there, it takes them a lot longer to get there, and they get hit a lot more. And Fellowship Heart is a good emergency skill, although I find I'm not using it nearly as much. I seem to be healing pretty well right now with everything that's out there. Virtues, I'm still kind of working on these. I was getting one-shotted quite a bit, so I'm working on Zeal, trying to get some more morale, and some other things that might boost that up a bit. But yeah, Idealism. Wisdom got quite a bit better with the in-combat power regen. Although, like I said, my power is doing pretty good right now. Could still switch some things around there, probably. For solo, definitely the capstone going all red, and then I usually go with 2 yellows just to keep the anthems going all the time. In fact, these 2 yellows with the anthem duration and the cooldown are the 2 that I'll use the most. And in that setup. Now, I also I switch a lot my interface, because I am sometimes on a different computer, or I run I'll be running on windowed mode, and there's a nice little command called UI layout, and you can save or load, and mini F, which is for full screen for me, and it will change everything while I'm already on that one right now. But it would actually move the whole layout, so you can save and load your whole layout, switching between a window and non-window, and I find that pretty handy. In fact, here, if I switch to the other chat, you can see that it loads any of the aliases I had in there, and it also loads the layout. And yeah, as you can see, I put my bars over here for stuff that I don't use that often, like some of the travel skills, and this Song of Distraction. still as death, which I find really handy. And yeah, some of these loot strings, the rezzing skills, and getting rid of dread, which is that's a really nice skill to have. But basically, I got it set up where I have the DPS on the left-hand side and the healing skills on the right-hand side, and some pots in the middle. I also have these two books. Normally, I just switch. At the beginning of the fight, I have a heal sword, and I have a DPS sword, and I'll just switch it at the beginning to the heal sword, and then I'll switch to my heal book, which right now is this one. I'm kind of still leveling some books, so haven't got that done yet. But I also find it too good to pass up that I have this buff book, which I use for Anthem of War, to set it at 20%, which is a really big buff. I try to keep that one and this Anthem up all the time if possible. This one gives you the attack duration plus resistance, so it can actually be used offensive and defensively, and then this is pure offense. But I'll usually switch to this book, hit the skill, and then switch back to the other one. Also using, dropping war speech right away helps a lot. A lot of times when I'm doing anthems, instead of just hitting all three heals at once, I will do something like hit the DPS, then the heal, then the DPS again. If I know that it's going to be a short fight and I don't need power, rather than just waiting for that 1 second delay, you can get to the anthems a lot quicker by using three different ones and just going back. If you think you're going to need more power savings, then go power, heal, power, or I go heal, power, heal, depending on what I think I'm going to need. And you can always, kind of change your anthems on the fly in the middle of the fight, depending on what you're doing. Remember using Call the Wizards, and the combination of that, Call the Second Age, has that run speed buff, which is nice for when you just want to get somewhere, or if you're trying to kite someone. That helps a bit, and it actually can make quite a difference. The legendary skills, rally, use that, and try and keep these. I also try to keep it, I have single target, the bolster courage and raise the spirit down here at the bottom. Some of the fellowship skills, I've changed this around just a little bit, so it's a little different than it used to be, so I've kind of got a little out of order. But try to keep some method to it, like Call to Greatness and Song of Aid, kind of put those together. Another handy thing I find is I have the F button set to select the next target, and I can pretty rapidly jump through a bunch of targets and see what's going on there. I also have the G set to go back to the target I was just at. Seems to be really handy. I also set up where I can show the target's target, so I can see who he's fighting, and then target forwarding, so I can heal through him, and that works quite well. And you can kind of see if their target's low on health or how he's doing. It's a pretty quick glance. And other than that, you get a lot more, especially on the later levels. You get a lot more heal over times. Cord of Salvation adds a heal over time. You also get one from Cry of Valor, so you can get some DPS and some healing at the same time. And then good old Swilligy of the Spirit. That one is always a good one. I try to keep those on quite a bit, even when it looks like no one needs healing. I'll just throw it on the tank or something, and a lot of times it can help them out. But a lot of times, if you get all three of those heal over times going, and maybe put the shield on them too, a lot of times that's all you need to do is just kind of do that in buffing, and I find myself being able to DPS a lot more. Also with Harmony, using the Herald Strike, giving a group heal once you use Noble Cause with it. That's another way you can kind of DPS and heal at the same time, and that's kind of nice. And yeah, again, that's most of what I got here, and then just trying some new software to record this with. This little thing called Overwolf. It's kind of neat software, although looks like you can't record voice and the game sounds at the same time, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it is nice. You can actually do this in game and bring up a little recorder. You can set these to all. It's got all kinds of stuff you can put on here, but you can open up like a browser window in the game, and it will and you can set how see-through you want it to be, so you make it very transparent, and you can just Google, if I type correctly, alright, and you can go over here and jump on the forums without getting out of the game. And I can resize this and put it out of the way. So anyhow, you get the idea. It also has the recorder, and then you can play back the videos you had earlier as well. I did a few tests, and yeah, this was a little skirmish raid that I did earlier, and I was testing it out with that. And anyhow, some handy software. Oh, and I should definitely mention this. One of the biggest things is actually the plugins. And I don't have all the plugins that I normally use because I'm actually got a new laptop and I haven't put them all on here yet. But this tonic bars, which seems to be in the same place as the recorder, I'll move that, is one of the best ones that I've found. I've also bound them to the shift key, but you can set it up to automatically pop up whenever you need a potion or anything cured. It'll pop up accordingly. Like, let me see if one of these guys will put some sort of status on me. Oh yeah, wags, they're usually good for that. If I can get one. Where are they? Ah, there's one. And actually, it looks like I'm gonna die. But as you can see, it popped up. It popped up with my low morale thing saying, "Hey, you're low on morale," but that's what I get for pulling the whole thing. Anyhow, and if you get wounded, it will automatically pop up your wound pot. You can set that up however you'd like. I find the shield a lot more useful. I use it all the time now. It's really good. As soon as I start taking fire in some sort of raid or something, I'll pop it up. But anyhow, that's most of it. There's lots of good plugins. Buff Bar is another good one, especially with the anthems. If you want to know how long until they expire, that's a really good one to have. You can set this one up to do something similar. You can tell it if a certain buff is not active, then you can say either when the buff is active or not active to pop up a little square somewhere on your screen, and you can put anything you want in there. As far as instruments, at the end, the two best right now seem to be the cowbell for DPS and the clarinet for healing. That may actually change. In fact, with the next update, they say they're going to do multiple output recipes, and that would be nice. But anyhow, that is a little bit of what I do on here. And yeah, if any questions or anything, just let me know. And hopefully you got something out of that that could be useful. And I will see you later. Good day.